Hello and welcome into another edition of the Final Drive on DMVSTREAM.com. Jeremy Huber here with you. So glad to have you along on another Friday night in high school football. Another good one. There's a lot of interesting games tonight, a lot of big games to start things off as Maryland got their season underway. A lot of Northern Virginia did as well. Some of the bigger schools, Fairfax County, most of those guys got going tonight. So a lot of those teams in action, also some other teams getting things going, but a lot of games to talk about tonight. Also a lot of guests coming up on the show. Those will include head coach of Damascus, Eric Wallach, his Swarman Hornets with a big win to start the season, top 10 victory. His fourth-ranked squad knocks off number 8 Quince Orchard 21-13. Coach Wallach will join us on the show in just a bit. Also on the show tonight, couple of big Maryland games on the docket, as it was Howard with another win. Of course, Howard fell short last year in the state championship game against Wise. This time around, a good game for the Howard Lions as they beat the state semifinalists in 3A Reservoir. We'll hear from the Howard head coach Bruce Strunk tonight. Also, Glenelg, playoff team last year, they were victorious tonight against Oakland Mills, and another nice starter to the season in Maryland. We'll hear from their head coach, Butch Schaefer, on the show tonight. Also, we may be joined by the head coach of the Madison Warhawks, Lenny Schultz. His squad tonight with as good as that Madison program is, a milestone tonight. They knock off Oakton for the first time in 10 years. We hope to be joined by Coach Schultz on the show tonight. He is scheduled to join us, so hopefully we will hear from Coach Schultz on the show tonight. Remember, if you want to get in touch with us here at DMV Stream and the Final Drive, go ahead and do it via Twitter at DMV Stream. Hashtag it with the Final Drive. That's DMV Stream. Hashtag it with the Final Drive. Again, I'm Jeremy Hubert, your host for this shindig. We're here for you on Friday nights during the high school football season through the state championship games. We run it all down for you. So again, so glad to have you along tonight. Hopefully you will come back every Friday night for the Final Drive. Well, let's go ahead and start this off with kind of the guts of our show. That's the scores to get you up to date on everything that we have, and it's a whole lot. And again, we'll start in the top 20, the All-Met Sports top 20. And tonight, number 1, DeMatha struggled a little bit with Avalon. That one was a little bit close at the half. Then the Stags pull away, winning that one 55-20 as they move to 2-0 on the season. Number 2, Wise in action tomorrow in a PG County battle with Douglas, a 2 p.m. start. That one at Douglas. On Thursday night, number 3, Westfield beat Washington Lee 45-0. Ramon Johnson, 2 touchdown passes for the Bulldogs, while Nathaniel Chung had 91 yards rushing and 2 TDs. Number 4, Damascus, a winner tonight as they were able to go ahead and knock off Quince Orchard, the 8th-ranked team in the All-Met Sports poll, 21-13. Number 5, Gonzaga, they face off tomorrow down in Florida with the era of Florida. That should be an interesting one, a 7 p.m. start. Number 6, Lake Braddock, big win tonight. They knocked off Lee in their season opener, 63-18. Number 7, Good Counsel in action tomorrow against Mount St. Joseph's, a resurgent Mount St. Joe's team. That's a 1 o'clock start at Mount St. Joe's. In that contest, Bob Malloy, head coach of the Falcons, will be looking for his 400th career win. Number 9, St. John's, looking to follow up their impressive performance last week versus Central Catholic of Pennsylvania. The Cadets will face American Heritage, nice school out of Florida, 2 p.m. start down there in the Sunshine State. Remember, Heritage faced off with DeMatha last year. Stags got the win. Number 10, Stonebridge opened up their season, really the big schools in Loudoun to wait until this week, but the Bulldogs victorious 38-0 win over TC Williams. Number 11, South County rallied late to beat Briar Woods 27-23. course, the Falcons had the nice win over Tuscarora last week, almost get another nice win against the Stallions tonight, but South County able to come back and get the victory as they move to 1-0 on the season. Briarwoods falls to 1-1. Patuxent, defending state champs over in Maryland, they beat Huntingtown tonight 28-7. Patuxent, the 12th ranked team in the poll. Number 13, Tuscarora, they bounced back from their loss last week to Briarwoods, beating Loudoun County, their crosstown rival, 55-21. Number 14, Episcopal, they were idle tonight. Number 15, Battlefield moves to 2-0 as they beat Garfield 30-6. Elsewhere, number 16, Sherwood, a 27-10 winner over Bethesda Chevy Chase. It was number 17, Ole Mill, beating Severna Park 49-21. Number 18, Eleanor Roosevelt, they're in action tomorrow against Riverdale Baptist in a 2 p.m. start. Number 19, Northwest, a winner tonight over Gaithersburg 27-6. And it was number 20, H.D. Woodson, a winner over St. Mary's Riken tonight 32-14. That wraps up your look at the Allmet Sports Top 20 poll. And again, an interesting night, as they always are here in the DMV. Of course, we mentioned one of those scores, really the game of the night going in. It was number 14, Damascus, taking on number 8, Quince Orchard, as Damascus gets the 21-13 win. Had a chance earlier in the night to catch up with the head coach of the Swarming Hornets, Eric Wallach. Of course, talked to him a lot on the show last year. Again, had a chance to talk to him tonight as his team gets the big 8-point win over Quince Orchard. Well, Coach Wallach, obviously tonight a battle of the Titans, if you will, between you guys and Quince Orchard. You guys go ahead and get the 21-13 win. First off, congratulations on the victory.
Thank you so much.
Seemed like kind of a hard-fought slugfest out there, and again, you know, everyone's saying, how's Damascus going to replace Jake Funk? Well, I don't know if he replaced him, but Marcus Vincent had a heck of a night tonight. 3 touchdowns in the contest. Talk about his performance.
I mean, he was incredible, you know, just carrying us on offense, playing defense, playing special teams. You know, I think he had a couple miscues out there, and, I think he was down a little bit, and he certainly came back with a vengeance.
Yeah, and I would think that it would have to be nice, again, when you get an offense, like I said, with Jake out there before, and it seemed like from, you know, all indications last year that, yeah, he was a good running back, but his linemen were so psyched up to block for him because they knew if they could go ahead and get their block, good things were going to happen. It sounds like that maybe the same thing could be happening with Marcus, where, again, he's scoring the touchdowns, but I would assume the offensive line had to have a good night.
They absolutely did. I mean, you know, Quince Orchard's defense played very well. We had a tough time getting it going in the beginning, and, you know, their D-line was actually taking it to us a little bit in the beginning, and, you know, we kept going fishing, trying to find something that would work, and, you know, eventually Marcus popped a couple and just sparked the whole team.
Yeah, and you guys end up going ahead and getting that touchdown win. You mentioned, Coach, that obviously they took it to you early. They were up at the half. Now, again, it's one of those situations where last year's team is last year's team, this year's team is this year's team. You lose a lot of guys, but did you feel with your guys that, you know, it was one of those things that, hey, you know, we know how to play football here. We're okay, even if they were down by a touchdown at the half?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we were down by 6 at halftime, and we knew if we could come out and stop, and then, you know, obviously go down and score with that, get that extra point, that would put us in good shape. And that's all we kept saying at halftime, and how we were beating ourselves. We made a lot of mistakes in the first half, and, you know, had some penalties that brought back big plays and, you know, breakdowns and coverages and things like that we thought Damascus was beating Damascus, and thought if we could correct those things and, you know, get it going a little bit, momentum would be on our side, and that's kind of what happened.
Head coach of the Damascus Swarming Hornets, Eric Wallach, joining us here on the final drive after his team's win over Quince Orchard tonight, battle of top 10 teams. And Coach, again, there's always some folks say the tendency to rest on laurels, that type of thing. Going into the season, what do you think it was a good thing for your squad to have a really quality opponent like Quince Orchard on the road in the first game, kind of gave the kids something to shoot for, refocus themselves?
I mean, possibly. You know, it's always kind of a bittersweet thing when you have a game like this in the beginning. You know, if you win, it's fantastic because you can breathe a little bit, and you know that, you know, you got one out of the way. But at the same time, I felt like we needed another week or so to get ready, and I didn't feel quite that we were 100% ready to where we needed to be. But, you know, to face an opponent like that, and we found a way somehow, and that's all that really matters at this point. But, certainly you can dangle that carrot out there during the off season and how hard you got to work because they're working hard and all the coaching jargon that people say, it was true.
Yeah, it's always that coaching jargon it seems to come back to, but a lot of times it's right, as you said, with a quality opponent like Quince Orchard. Well, you get the win over them tonight. Before we move on, I want to again touch on the defense. Who are some guys out there tonight for you? They were able to really have some good performances and hold a pretty quality Cougars team to just 2 touchdowns.
It's hard to say without watching the film. I know Sean Jenkins, our linebacker, made a bunch of plays. Ben Locust, the other linebacker. Jordan Funk, Colby Starheim, Cedric Cole, Neil Pitt, lots of guys just making tremendous plays. It's hard to say without seeing, but those guys I know, I remember them making the plays and seeing it on the field.
Yeah, and obviously there were a lot of plays made out there tonight. Well, Coach, wrap you up on this one. Interestingly, and I think folks kind of had maybe a misconception last year. They said, they had Quince Orchard, they had, Seneca Valley late. Schedule was a little bit, wasn't as meaty in the middle. But tell you what, after tonight's action, Whitman pulls a big upset tonight. They knocked off Pate Branch. Watkins Mill playing pretty well tonight. Rockville as well. So again, looking like you guys got a pretty tough schedule. How do you kind of see things shaking up for you guys? Again, we know it's one game at a time, but a lot of quality teams on this schedule, maybe more so than last year.
Absolutely. And, that's all we talk about is one game at a time and getting ready for the next opponent. And we know that everyone's going to kind of have a bullseye on us because we did win states last year, and we're always going to get everybody's best game. And we just focus on being the best that we can be. And really, whoever we're playing, it really doesn't matter. We prepare the same way every single game. Every single year, and it just, we try to have a blue-collar mentality in practice and take it out on the field and execute it.
And obviously you guys are able to do that tonight with your big win over Quince Orchard, 21-13. Head coach of the Damascus Swarming Hornets, Eric Wallach. Again, they don't lose. At least they haven't been doing it lately. They get the win again tonight. Coach, again, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on the big win.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
Again, Coach Eric Wallach, head coach of the Damascus Swarming Hornets. They win again, their 15th straight victory as the Hornets get the win tonight, knocking off Quince Orchard, pretty quality Quince Orchard team in a battle of top 10 squads by a count of 21-13. So Damascus again serving notice, no Jake Funk. No problem, at least not yet, as that team again had a big win tonight against a quality opponent in Quince Orchard. A few more scores into us here on the final drive. John Paul the Great, a winner over Jefferson tonight, 39-0. Elsewhere, a couple other schools to pass along to you. We will do that after this break. Again, come on back. We'll have more on the final drive. Again, we will hear from the head coach of the Glenelg Gladiators, Butch Schaefer. Win for him tonight. Also the head coach of the Howard County Lions, Bruce Strunk, and efforting to hear from the head coach of the Madison Warhawks after their big win over Oakton, Lenny Schultz. That's all coming up here on the final drive here on DMVSTREAM.com. I'm Jeremy Huber. Again, want to get in touch with us? Do it via Twitter. Go ahead. DMVStream, hashtag it with the final drive. That's DMVStream, hashtag the final drive. Looking for some of the best barbecue in the area? Well, then come on down to Monk's. Monk's Barbecue has all your favorites. Delicious pulled pork, tender, moist brisket, and dry rubbed ribs that just fall off the bone. As well as specialty items like pulled chicken, pastrami, and Kansas City burnt ends. Add in delicious sides like Monk's Special Baked Beans, smoked Gouda mac and cheese, vinegar coleslaw, and many more, and you can't get any better. That's Monk's Barbecue in the heart of Loudoun County, online at monksq.com. That's monks and the letter Q.com. And go to their Facebook page to find out more about their live music and drinks.
DMVStream.com produces live broadcasts for professional, semi-pro, and amateur sporting events, as well as colleges, universities, high schools, AAU, and youth tournaments in the Mid-Atlantic. With a client list that includes ESPN, The Washington Post, Monumental Sports Network, CBS.com, USAFootball.com, USLacrosse.org, NCAA.com, the National Federation of High School Sports, and Georgetown University, among others. Synthesis Multimedia has emerged as the Mid-Atlantic's top provider of sports multimedia. Contact us today to learn more about streaming your events live.
Are you a fan of high school sports? Does high school sports attract the type of customers you want for your business? If so, then consider advertising here on The Final Drive. The Final Drive on DMVSTREAM.COM is a weekly show dedicated to high school football in the District, Maryland, and Virginia. We update scores and talk to the movers and shakers from Friday night's top games, and we preview the big matchups from Saturday's action. So consider being a part of The Final Drive. For more information about advertising on The Final Drive, contact Jeremy Huber at jrh0001@gmail.com. That's jrh0001@gmail.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to an all-new season of Top Plays here at allnetsports.com and WashingtonPost.com. I'm your host, BJ Kubarulis. Now, as we've done the past 4 seasons, we're continuing our exciting, interactive high school football show that allows you, the coaches, players, parents, and fans, and others, to send in your video submissions for ranking in our Top 10 style weekly show. If you want to see your highlight in this show, well, it's as simple as tweeting your boy. I'm at BJ Koob. You got to remember to hashtag it, AllNets. All right, you can tweet in your Huddle, YouTube, Vimeo, really any video link by Sundays at noon, and we'll consider it for use in the upcoming episode of Top Plays. Now, you got to remember to tune in on Mondays to see if your video made our top 10 at allnetsports.com. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back into The Final Drive here on DMVSTREAM.COM. Jeremy Huber here with you. Lots of scores to run down tonight, but again, joined by another special guest, and this is a very happy man right now, the head coach of the Madison Warhawks, Lenny Schultz. His team, and this was something that I couldn't believe, as good of a program as Madison has been over the last few years. Their first win over Oakton in 10 years, their crosstown rival. The Warhawks have been so good, but just one of those kind of crazy stats. And right now, joined on the phone by Coach Lenny Schultz. First off, Coach, congratulations on the big win.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, it's not me, it's my team, it's my coaches, and the hard work they all put in.
Yeah, and I tell you, Coach, again, you're a guy, you're a Madison guy, you know, through and through. You played there, you coach there now, and it seems to me, and again, this is an outsider's perspective, but I know and respect how good that program at Madison has been. You know, years they've given Stonebridge, the top team out where I'm from, in Loudon, fits, and it just seemed crazy to me. It had been that long. Was it one of those things that it's so good for your guys right now to kind of get a little bit of a monkey off the back?
Oh, absolutely. You know, it feels good to get that monkey off the back against Oakland. They're always well coached. All respect in the world for Jason over there. Coach Riley does a great job with those guys. They're always well coached, and you know, it's to their advantage if it's a close game. He's come out on top, so we knew we had to play hard, play fast, and continue to play for 4 quarters. So you know, we can finish a game. So,
yeah, and obviously you did that tonight with the big win in that matchup. And I think the guy really the focus has to be on first is your wide receiver, Nick Conforti. I believe had 3 touchdowns on the night. Talk about the performance by your wideout.
Well, Nick is, you know, he's a very hard worker in practice. He goes 100% everything he does. He runs every route, you know, with everything he's got. At the end of practice, he's running sprints and he's winning them. So, and he works hard. He's that quiet leader, not the great big rah-rah guy. Does his job, works hard on the field, and leads by example. So I'm very impressed with Nick. I look forward to a great season from him. Yeah,
and he's had a heck of a way to start things off tonight. Of course, somebody's got to give him the ball, and Jacob Chaka, your quarterback, filling in for Gastrock, your standout quarterback last year. It was, at least the numbers I have, was up in the 200s in passing yardage, 4 touchdown passes. Again, are you overjoyed with getting that type of performance out of a quarterback getting in there for the first time?
Well, absolutely. Jacob's also paid his dues working behind Jason, so, you know, he didn't have an opportunity to play too much last year. He was a number 2 last year, and, you know, we gave him some JV reps because he wasn't going to get a lot of Friday night reps, and just a little bit last year, and he's worked hard. He worked hard in the off season, 7-on-7, and we had 4 quarterbacks, and he came out on top, and he was voted team captain. And, he demonstrates also by example of leadership. So I'm proud of him and the work he's put in.
Talking to head coach Lenny Schultz of the Madison Warhawks, and coach, following one of our colleagues over at All Met Sports, Nick Eilerson, his game story and his tweets tonight was talking about how really your defensive line able to take it to the Oakton offensive line. They've got some college commits on that side of the ball, but really late in that game, they were under 100 yards of total offense. Don't know if they ended up getting there by the end of the night, but talk about that performance by your defensive line and your defense as a whole.
Well, we got Brad Porter anchoring down at defensive end, and Luke Hooster at the other end. Those guys just outwork everybody all the time. They're both playing both ways, and I've got Khaled Rababe. He was second team all conference player last year. He's not very big, but he's got the biggest heart in the field. He's tough to block. He moves well. He's a fit to block and playing with a lot of confidence. Undersized, but go ahead and run at him because he'll stop you. And then, Joey Goldsmith, he's come out of nowhere to play defensive line. We were looking for someone to step it up, and he's done well. Together, those 4, we're going to be okay up front. We were wondering if moving Brad out to end would hurt us, and it's helped us. And he's tough to block. He's very powerful in the weight room.
Coach, it's one of those things. I referred to it earlier in the show, or early in the interview, I should say. But, it just seems like you guys at Madison, you're always a tough team. You're always a very good team. Where does that come from? Is that coaching? Is that from the players that come into the program? Where does it come from? This Madison team seems to always say, hey, we're always going to be in the hunt.
Well, having been there now 13 years and trained by Coach Lye, very sound and solid coach, I learned a lot from him. And we get good quality players out of our youth system. BYI does a great job of coaching kids. We don't always get a lot of great size, so we know we have to play smart and be aggressive and be as physical as we can with what we got. And if we can do that and play just a sound structured team type of defense, we're going to be good. We have to play team defense, and that's what we do. Ray Gordon, my defensive coordinator now with me for 6 years, he does a great job in preparing and getting those kids ready to play. He's, he studies film, he gets those kids ready to play, and, they work hard and they have fun. So.
Coach, I don't want to burst the bubble because I know you guys are sky high, but obviously you got a tough Stonebridge team next week. I want to ask you to go ahead and scout out Coach Thompson's team. I know you haven't watched the film, but you guys are familiar with them. You've played him for years out of the old Liberty District. Does it help playing a quality program like that in the sense when you kind of know what they're going to do?
Oh, absolutely. We don't want to play down too many times. We're going into a bigger conference next year, so we're actually keeping Stonebridge on our schedule. Again, we've only beaten Mickey once at varsity level as a head coach, and so I know he's going to for me over there. He's going to have his team well prepared. He knows we're a quality coach program now, and I respect him. Take down and shake his hand, and I know it's going to be a hard-fought game. They did a good job tonight, I believe. Don't know the final score, but I saw a halftime score, and that's the last thing I saw. So, I'm anticipating a good ball game. So,
yeah, obviously, Coach, they got about a 30-point win against T.C. Williams. One more for you. We'll let you go, Lenny. You mentioned you referred to the fact that you guys are moving up to a higher level next year. If I believe the realignment in my head's right, you're going in with some of those Concord District schools. One, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but number two, how do you kind of prepare for that, knowing ahead of time, hey, this is our fate, this is what we're going into? Obviously, you want to play this season. Do you do anything differently as you kind of go ahead and get your minds right to play maybe in a different league next year?
No, we want to finish this off. We want to finish the Liberty District off when we that way. Our goal is to be Liberty District champions. They didn't want us back in, so let's go out and do our job with them and leave champions, and then we'll continue competing. It's the mindset we're trying to set with our kids. It's hard work in the off season that has to pay off. We don't have the numbers some of the other schools have. player-wise, and hopefully our program continues to grow. I have a policy. I try not to cut anybody if they're willing to work hard and commit to the program, and they do all the right things. And I got to grow my numbers. So some of those teams double us in numbers, and we just have to continue to work hard, work together, and build our program.
Well, Coach Schultz, you're doing a pretty good job with that program right now. You get a big win tonight as you knock off your rival Oakton, first time in 10 years, and a nice win. I'm sure the Madison community very happy with that, as I'm sure you are with that win, as your Warhawks do you proud by getting the win over the Crosstown Cougars. Again, Coach, congratulations on the win tonight, and thank you so much for joining us here on the Final Drive.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. You have a good evening, sir.
You as well, Coach Schultz. Lenny Schultz, great coach over there at Madison, doing some great things. And again, they were a team that used to, I remember covering Stonebridge back in the day, and the Warhawks always seemed to give them fits. Really, the one Liberty District team that kind of did give them some trouble back in the day under Mickey Thompson. And again, Coach Schultz has to be very happy with what his team was able to go ahead and do tonight, getting that big win in their matchup against crosstown rival Oakton. Let's run down some scores before we go ahead and hit our second break of the night. Again, coming up on the show, we'll hear from the head coach of the Howard Lions. That would be Bruce Strunk, his team with a nice win tonight over Reservoir. Also, winner tonight, Glen Elg, as they were able to go ahead and knock off Oakland Mills. Butch Schaefer, head coach of the Gladiators. We'll hear from him tonight as well. We ran down the top 20 for you earlier on in the show. Let's go ahead and run down some scores from last night. There were some games played, some teams kind of getting ahead of the break, maybe giving their guys a long break with the 3-day weekend. Bishop Sullivan of Richmond, of course, big story with the Bishop Sullivan team under Chris Scott. Used to be at Ocean Lakes, moved on to a private school, really bringing some players in from all over Virginia Beach, really the first of the private schools to do that. Again, really public school baseball down there, more so than the DMV, where up here a lot of the private schools dominate. Well, Bishop Sullivan, big win last night as they beat Bishop Ireton 41-6. Elsewhere, it was Eastern Ever Falls Church 24-19. So Jerome Johnson and Eastern rebounding from their loss over in West Virginia last week for a win over Falls Church. Ramblers rallied from a halftime deficit on the road to get the win. Hayfield with a rout of Edison, 67-0. It was Herndon over Fairfax, 35-20. Freedom of Woodbridge, an impressive win as they beat Potomac of Virginia, 42-7. Elsewhere, West Potomac beat Langley last night, 41-12. Mark Ellis, 11 of 18 for 194 yards and 2 touchdown passes. Justin Annan with 2 rushing touchdowns for the Wolverines. Mount Vernon moves to 2-0 on the year as they beat Stewart 30-7. Mountain View over Osborne Park, 42-13. W.T. Woodson knocked off Chantilly last night. Bit of an upset, 17-7. It was Wilson big over Yorktown last night. Wilson bouncing back after their loss in opening week. They win 41-0 over the Patriots. Elsewhere, some private school action as it was St. John's Catholic Prep beating Annapolis Area Christian 16-12. Georgetown Prep a winner tonight over O'Connell 30-7. Bullis rallies to beat Pilati 22-21. Pilati falls to 0-2 on the year. Elsewhere, Spalding a big win over St. Mary's of Annapolis 52-0. Dunbar and Southwestern, that matchup was canceled. It was John Paul the Great, a big win over Jefferson of Fairfax County, 39-0. Landon over High Point, 40-0. It was Liberty of Maryland beating Severn School, 30-0. National Collegiate, a big win over Phelps, 40-0. Elsewhere, Theodore Roosevelt, after their big win on opening weekend, they fall to Carrollton of Ohio, 49-7. In D.C., Ballou big over Bell, 39-0. Of course, Ballou in the Stars division, Bell in the smaller Stripes division, but Ballou gets the big win tonight. Friendship Collegiate, an anticipated game in the D.C. Kickoff Classic over at Catholic. Friendship beats Carroll 30-6. So Friendship, again, kind of their goal to go deeper into the DCSAA championships. Again, lost to Gonzaga last year, kind of got blown out. The Knights kind of refocusing on that and looking for a little bit deeper run. And this win over Carroll tonight will be big for them to go ahead and maybe kind of advance on and do a little bit better in that area. Well, we've still got scores to run down for you from Maryland and from Virginia. We'll go ahead and do it after this. Stay tuned. Scores from Maryland and Virginia coming up. Also, Bruce Strunk of Howard and Butch Schaefer of Glen Elg two head coaches to hear from as well. It's all coming up right here on the Final Drive. Remember, want to hit us up, do it via Twitter, DMVStream, hashtag the Final Drive. Again, that's DMVStream, hashtag it with the Final Drive. I'm Jeremy Huber. More of the Final Drive coming up right after this.
Looking for some of the best barbecue in the area? Well, then come on down to Monk's. Monk's Barbecue has all your favorites: delicious pulled pork, tender, moist brisket, and dry rubbed ribs that just fall off the bone, as well as specialty items like pulled chicken, pastrami, and Kansas City burnt ends. Add in delicious sides like Monk's special baked beans, smoked Gouda mac and cheese, vinegar coleslaw, and many more, and you can't get any better. That's Monk's Barbecue in the heart of Loudoun County, online at monksq.com. That's monks and the letter Q.com. And go to their Facebook page to find out more about their live music and drinks.
DMVSTREAM.com produces live broadcasts for professional, semi-pro, and amateur sporting events, as well as colleges, universities, high schools, AAU, and youth tournaments in the Mid-Atlantic. With a client list that includes ESPN, The Washington Post, Monumental Sports Network, CBS.com, USAFootball.com, USLacrosse.org, NCAA.com, the National Federation of High School Sports, and Georgetown University, among others, Synthesis Multimedia has emerged as the Mid-Atlantic's top provider of sports multimedia. Contact us today to learn more about streaming your events live.
Are you a fan of high school sports? Does high school sports attract the type of customers you want for your business? If so, then consider advertising here on The Final Drive. The Final Drive on DMVStream.com is a weekly show dedicated to high school football in the District, Maryland, and Virginia. We update scores and talk to the movers and shakers from Friday night's top games, and we preview the big matchups from Saturday's action. So consider being a part of The Final Drive. For more information about advertising on The Final Drive, contact Jeremy Huber at jrh0001@gmail.com. That's jrh0001@gmail.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to an all-new season of Top Plays here at allmetsports.com and WashingtonPost.com. I'm your host, BJ Kubarulis. Now, as we've done the past 4 seasons, we're continuing our exciting interactive high school football show that allows you, the coaches, players, parents, and fans, and others, to send in your video submissions for ranking in our Top 10 style weekly show. If you want to see your highlight in this show, well, it's as simple as tweeting your boy. I'm at BJ Koob. You got to remember to hashtag it, All Mets. All right, you can tweet in your Huddle, YouTube, Vimeo, really any video link by Sundays at noon, and we'll consider it for use in the upcoming episode of Top Plays. Now, you got to remember to tune in on Mondays to see if your video made our top 10 at allmetsports.com. We'll see you soon.
And always good to go ahead and hear from my big boss, BJ Kubarulis. Again, DMV Stream, of course, allmetsports.com, their top 10 play show. Make sure you go ahead and send him your videos. Again, such a good show that he does. And again, it's a good way to go ahead and get your team, your program, your son a little bit more exposure if you go ahead and do that by sending it and tweeting your boy, as BJ says in the commercial. Well, back here on The Final Drive, Jeremy Huber here with you. We're just past the halfway point on the show tonight. Still a lot more to get to. We've got some more scores to go ahead and get to you as well. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's move over to Maryland, where Arundel, their season opener tonight, they put up points like Chuck Markowitz's teams like to do. Arundel beats Glen Burnie 60-35, so a high-scoring matchup in that one. Elsewhere, Blair over Northwood tonight, 35-0. Blake beat Springbrook 45-6. Broadneck, of course, went to the semifinals last year in 4A in Maryland. Nice start for their season. They beat South River 33-12. Centennial over Hammond 30-21. Chopticon over La Plata 41-21. It was Clarksburg over Churchill 30-7. Watkins Mill, an impressive win tonight over Frederick as the Wolverines win 44-0. Watkins have been down for a little bit, but again, they really think that team might have a little something to say when it comes to Maryland football, as the Wolverines looking pretty good on the season, at least in their opener. Howard beating Reservoir tonight 28-7. Again, we'll hear from head coach Bruce Strunk of the Howard Lions in just a moment. Stay tuned for that. Chesapeake over Lansdowne, 16-12. It was Lackey over Leonardtown, 39-0. Long Reach beat Mount Hebron, 33-0. Wheaton over Magruder, 21-14. Athelton over Marriott's Ridge, 21-10. Annapolis and Meade, that one was postponed until Tuesday. North Point over Thomas Stone, 41-18 as the Eagles get their season off to a good start. It was Calvert beating Northern 33-0. Glen Elg over Oakland Mills, 29-7. We'll hear from the Glen Elg Gladiators coach Butch Schaefer in about 15 minutes from now. Richard Montgomery over Einstein tonight in a high-scoring game, 47-36. It was Southern over Rising Sun, 46-7. River Hill beat Wild Lake, 17-13. Seneca Valley, they start their season off with a victory, beating Poolsville 42-20. Westlake over St. Charles, 22-0. It was Rockville over Walter Johnson, 41-0. Wooten beats Kennedy, 39-14, and a bit of a shocker as Whitman beat Paint Branch tonight, 27-7. Again, Paint Branch, a team, playoff team 2 years ago, challenging for the playoffs last year, I believe. And again, they fall to Whitman, 27-7. So a nice win for the Patriots in that contest as they go ahead and get the victory. I believe that my old friend Kevin Sheehan's school, Whitman. Again, they look good tonight with that big win over a Paint Branch Panthers squad. So again, that's your look at your scores from Maryland. If you have one that we don't have, go ahead and tweet it to us at DMVStream. Hashtag it with DMV Final Drive. Again, that's DMVStream. Hashtag it with the Final Drive. One more time, tweet us at DMVStream and hashtag it with the Final Drive. Well, again, tonight, a couple big Howard County matchups, one of them involving the 4A runners-up in Maryland, the Howard Lions, as they beat Reservoir, who made it to the state semis in 3A. Lions over the Gators in that one, 28-7. Earlier tonight, had a chance to catch up with the head coach of the Howard Lions, Bruce Strunk. Well, Coach, your guys impressive tonight, a 28-7 win in your matchup against Reservoir. Obviously, Coach, you see these guys every year. You saw them to start the season last year, a little bit closer game in that matchup, but you guys, a state finalist in 4A, they were a state semifinalist in 3A. Was there a lot of hype going into this game? Did you have to calm your guys down a little bit?
No, the guys weren't really hyped. It seemed like some of the sports media in the area, it was one of the games to watch this week. But our kids knew how good Reservoir is. They're a well coached team. They have some talented players. And they're a solid program. So our fears were first game jitters and a lot of new guys stepping in for some of the graduates. And but our kids came through. They played tough. Very proud of them.
Yeah, and of course, you talk about some of the guys that had to be filled in for Malik Anderson, over 2,000 yards last year. Your running back, Casey Crawford, he was your top quarterback, obviously. But you do have some new guys in there, and it seemed like tonight, kind of looking at the stats, Robbie Porter, your quarterback, played a nice game along with Dylan Perez, one of your wide receivers. Talk about their performance and the offense as a whole tonight.
Yeah, plugged Robbie in. He's stepping in for Casey Crawford, and we haven't changed anything in our offense. It's Robbie's show now. We don't we're not handcuffing him, and he did a nice job controlling it, and he's going to get better. First couple series he had the jitters, like most first year quarterbacks are going to be, but he stepped it up and did a great job.
And obviously, without having a guy like Malik with all those rushing yards, saw the guys did a little of the screen game tonight. Has there been any change in philosophy in that sense? Or as you said, it's just kind of the same offense, maybe calling some different plays? Or is it exactly the same thing you've been doing?
No, it's the same thing we've been doing. Malik's taking that ball. We're running everything's the same. I mean, it was something, that we saw that Reservoir was bringing a lot of players up the middle. And so we tried to get outside the boxes as fast as we could. And, that's what they were giving us. So I thought our coaches did a great job adjusting. And, and the players executed.
Most definitely. Coach Bruce Strunk from Howard High School joining us, his team with a nice win tonight to start their season 28-7 as they knock off their rival Reservoir. Coach, anytime you hold a team the quality of Reservoir to 7 points, your defense has to be playing pretty well. Talk about the performance on that side of the ball, maybe some of the guys who stood out there.
Yeah, the entire unit did a great job. We didn't play a perfect game. We had some holes in our defense. We didn't tackle as well as I'd like to, but you know what? We rallied when going got down. The kids rose to the occasion. We put ourselves in some situations with some careless penalties, but like I said, it was a typical first game mistakes, and we have a lot to work on tomorrow morning. And we have a lot of players who had a great game. Donnie Place, our middle linebacker, did a great job. Defensive end, Moody McKemba played a good game. Our strong safety, Bryson Craven. Demeji Olienka. I can go on and on. Everybody just had their hand in and made a play here and there. And what impressed me most about our defense is the second half, we played a lot better than the first half. Instead of the pile falling forward, sometimes the pile was falling backwards, and which is a great sign that they get stronger in the second half.
Obviously, and that's kind of the way things went out, as you kind of just pulled that lead out, pulled it out as you went along. Coach, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, last year, obviously such a great season, kind of came to an end in a thud in that matchup with Wise in the state championship game. Has there been any talk of that? Has it been used as a motivation moving forward? Or has that been one of those things kind of saying, look, great season, bad end, let's go to this one?
Yeah, it's more the second. We just, Wise was an incredible team. But all teams are good in the state finals. It was just one of those games. I think our program not being in that game, we didn't get off the bus. Our kids were a little starry-eyed walking in the Ravens Stadium, and we didn't play with emotion. We didn't, we just weren't there. And Wise is used to it. So, they've won a couple state titles the last couple of years. They played at a faster speed. But I'm not taking anything away from Wise. Even at our best, they were the best team in the state. So, our kids had a great season. We beat a bunch of teams that people said we couldn't beat. And that's a credit to our kids.
One last one for you, Coach. Obviously, it's always one game at a time. You move forward in that Howard County schedule. You said earlier in the interview, just going to go ahead and go back to work tomorrow. As you move forward, what do you hope to correct in the first game into the second game and as you go along throughout the season?
Just the fundamentals. We got to do a better job blocking. We got to do a better job tackling. And all the other little things that go along with it, crisper routes or better pass coverage, But, the fundamentals is where we could tie things up a lot tighter. We play a very fast Wild Lake team next week, very athletic. So it's going to be another great test for our kids. And, our whole league this year, we have a lot of strong teams, so it's going to be fun week to week.
Well, Coach, I know you want everyone, and always the coaches can find a way for their players to get better, but a 21-point win to start the season against the quality opponent is a pretty good place to start. Bruce Strunk, head coach of the Howard County Lions, his team victorious tonight over against Reservoir. Coach, thank you so much, and congratulations on the win.
All right, Jeremy, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Head coach Bruce Strunk of the Howard Lions, their win tonight in their matchup against Reservoir. Let's run down the Virginia scores for you before one big finish off to the night. Centerville winner tonight over Annandale, 42-0 in Virginia. Broad Run bounces back from a loss to Potomac Falls last week as they beat Wakefield 41-6. Champ bounces back from their loss to Woodgrove, beating Spring Mills of West Virginia 36-13. Clark County over Manassas Park 43-6. Heritage over Fauquier 21-12. The Pride moved to 2-0 on the year. Forest Park beat Patriot 38-28. Also, Hilton over Osborne 49-7. So the Bulldogs bounced back from their loss to Battlefield last week. James Wood over Parkview 23-6. South Lakes in their opener over Marshall 49-8. Madison beats Oakton 33-10. First win over the Cougars in 10 years for the Warhawks. Heard from their head coach, Lenny Schultz, earlier in the night. Potomac Falls moves to 2-0 on the year. They beat crosstown rival Dominion 15-7. Turner Ashby over Riverside of Loudoun County 13-0. Loudoun Valley over Rockridge 49-34. Stafford beats Woodbridge 34-25. It was Brook Point over Stonewall Jackson 46-6. Robinson, a big win tonight over West Springfield 49-14. Remember, of course, last year West Springfield won that back and forth matchup late with a Peter Musket touchdown run. Robinson not about to let that happen again tonight. They win big over the Spartans. Brentsville win over William Monroe 38-20. And Woodgrove moves to 2-0 with a 41-26 win over Liberty of Fauquier County. Well, stay tuned, folks. We'll have one more break for you, run down all the scores, and we'll hear from the head coach of the Glenelg Gladiators, Butch Schaefer. It's all coming up right here on DMV Stream's Final Drive. Again, want to catch up with us, do it via Twitter at DMV Stream, hashtag it with the Final Drive. Again, that's DMV Stream, hashtag it with the Final Drive. We'll be right back.
Looking for some of the best barbecue in the area? Well, then come on down to Monk's. Monk's Barbecue has all your favorites: delicious pulled pork, tender, moist brisket, and dry rubbed ribs that just fall off the bone, as well as specialty items like pulled chicken, pastrami, and Kansas City burnt ends. Add in delicious sides like Monk's special baked beans, smoked Gouda mac and cheese, vinegar coleslaw, and many more, and you can't get any better. That's Monk's Barbecue in the heart of Loudoun County, online at monksq.com. That's monks in the letter Q.com. And go to their Facebook page to find out more about their live music and drinks.
DMVSTREAM.com produces live broadcasts for professional, semi-pro, and amateur sporting events, as well as colleges, universities, high schools, AAU, and youth tournaments in the Mid-Atlantic. With a client list that includes ESPN, The Washington Post, Monumental Sports Network, CBS.com, USAFootball.com, USLacrosse.org, NCAA.com, the National Federation of High School Sports, and Georgetown University, among others, Synthesis Multimedia has emerged as the Mid-Atlantic's top provider of sports multimedia. Contact us today to learn more about streaming your events live.
Are you a fan of high school sports? Does high school sports attract the type of customers you want for your business? If so, then consider advertising here on The Final Drive. The Final Drive on DMVStream.com is a weekly show dedicated to high school football in the District, Maryland, and Virginia. We update scores and talk to the movers and shakers from Friday night's top games, and we preview the big matchups from Saturday's action. So consider being a part of The Final Drive. For more information about advertising on The Final Drive, contact Jeremy Huber at jrh0001@gmail.com. That's jrh0001@gmail.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to an all-new season of Top Plays here at allmetsports.com and WashingtonPost.com. I'm your host, BJ Kubarulis. Now, as we've done the past 4 seasons, we're continuing our exciting interactive high school football show that allows you, the coaches, players, parents, and fans, and others, to send in your video submissions for ranking in our Top 10 style weekly show. If you want to see your highlight in this show, well, it's as simple as tweeting your boy. I'm at BJ Koob. You got to remember to hashtag it, All Mets. All right, you can tweet in your Huddle, YouTube, Vimeo, really any video link by Sundays at noon, and we'll consider it for use in the upcoming episode of Top Plays. Now, you got to remember to tune in on Mondays to see if your video made our Top 10 at allmetsports.com. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back into The Final Drive on DMVStream.com. I'm your host, Jeremy Huber. We've got one more coach to catch up with tonight. Of course, earlier tonight, Glenelg got a good start to their season as they were able to go ahead and knock off Oakland Mills in their contest. That won a final score of 29-7 for the Gladiators. Head coach of Glenelg, Butch Schaefer, able to join me earlier on in the night. Well, Coach, obviously a nice win for you guys tonight against the quality Oakland Mills team. First off, congratulations. And let's start off with, again, you guys get off to a pretty good start in this game and just kind of keep it going. How'd you get your guys ready to go in this matchup and play like they did?
It was a great football game against a really good football team. And our kids knew we had to play our A game because Oakland Mills is a tremendous football team that has such explosive athletes all over the field, and it was an extremely physical football game.
Coach, do you think it at all helped that last year you faced off with Oakland Mills, you dropped that game, you end up losing to River Hill the next one? Obviously, you got things back on track and made it all the way to the region final, but was there a sense in the kids to say, look, really good team, and we don't want to start our season off that way again?
Yeah, we had a real lot of motivation. I mean, last year Oakland Mills really took it to us, and our kids have been looking for the last 6 months at this game, and I'm really proud of the way our kids played. They played hard, they played tough, they played disciplined, and it was a great way to start our season.
Coach, obviously you guys got the game going on the ground a little bit today. Wandy Owens had a big game, had over 100 yards in the first half. Talk about his performance and the rest of the run game tonight.
He did a tremendous job. I mean, Alonde is a really explosive player, and our offensive line just did an outstanding job. I mean, we're led by a lot of seniors up there, and I'm really, really proud of work that they put in and their effort, and that's results speak for himself.
Talking to Butch Schaefer, the head coach of the Glen Elg Gladiators, get a big win tonight, 29-7 over Oakland Mills. Coach, from some of the reports I got early in the game, you went for one on 4th and goal, really close down there. Was that kind of a way to say, hey, this is the way this game's going to be physical up front, we're going to win the line of scrimmage?
We knew we had to, try to control the football. Oakland Mills is just we had to set the tone and say, hey, we have to get this. And, we wanted to do that from the get-go. We wanted to keep the ball away from them. I mean, our whole game plan was to control the football and keep their explosive athletes on the sideline. And I was very proud of our kids that we were able to do that.
Obviously, Coach, controlling the clock is great. And again, it helps keep your defense fresh, but they've still got to make plays. How are you guys able to hold Oakland Mills to just 7 points?
It was a tremendous defensive effort. Our defense coordinator did a great job, game planning, and it was really about not missing tackles and putting the kids in the right position. And they really played their butts off today.
Yeah, real big for you guys. Now, obviously, we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you about Dakota Davis, your Syracuse commit. A lot of times you see a kid that size, he might be playing at one of the Catholic League schools in D.C. or somewhere like that. Obviously, he's stayed with you guys. Talk about him a little bit and what makes him such a good player.
He's a tremendous player, works extremely hard. He's real dedicated to the weight room. He's a good leader, and all our kids follow his example, and it really helps our team, having a player like that.
And in that sense, Coach, is it great to have a guy who's that good and that good of a leader kind of say, hey, you stay here at Glen Elg, you can do some really special things that kind of help guys, bring guys out there and stay with the program and really hopefully do good things in it?
I mean, we definitely try to promote the colleges and those kind of things, and we've been pretty successful sending some good players to some really good programs, and it really does help. I mean, you have guys that are that caliber and that leaders and the quality of people that we have here. I mean, it's awesome to have that, and people do want to come, and that's a great thing for us.
Coach, getting you out on this one, obviously you've got yourselves, it's always tough out there in your neck of the woods, River Hill coming up, and then, of course, a lot of other teams on the schedule. Again, Howard late in the season as well, long way away. How do you approach this season that you guys always have, those kind of those tough, hard-fought battles out in Howard County?
I mean, we have to show up every week. Our county's like that. Each and every game's a battle, and we take it one game at a time, and tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to move on to the next game. We'll enjoy this tonight. And we'll start preparing for River Hill next week.
And, Coach, while I have you, it's always kind of struck me, the Howards and some of the Arundels and the other areas, and maybe not hurt you guys as much, but, having only been able to play against the teams in your area, is there ever a time that you kind of want to say, boy, I'd like to play maybe a game outside the conference or outside the area, just maybe to test ourselves, or depending on how the season goes, maybe a blow, or you just kind of get used to the way it is in your neck of the woods and say, hey, this is the schedule we have and we'll get as best as we can?
We have to play some other teams and, and those kind of things. But, hey, I just play the people that they put on our schedule, and we try to do the best that we can with that. And like I said, it's a great league out here, and great challenge every week. And, hey, we just look forward to next week.
And coach, you get you guys off to a good start tonight. Butch Schaefer, head coach of Glen Elk. They knock off Oakland Mills 29-7 tonight. Coach, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on the big win.
Hey, you're welcome very much, and thanks for the call. Take care.
And again, Coach Schaefer's squad, a nice way to start their season off with that win tonight over Oakland Mills, 29-7. Well, now time for our rapid fire scores. We run through every single score that we have on the docket tonight. Let's go ahead and start with the All-Met Sports Top 20, as it was DeMatha beating Avalon 55-20. Number one ranked Stags kind of ran away from this one in the second half to go ahead and get the big win. Number two, Wise at Douglas. That's a 2 p.m. start tomorrow. Number three, Westfield beat Washington and Lee on Thursday, 45-0. Number 4, Damascus goes on the road and beats number 8, Quince Orchard tonight, 21-13. Number 5, Gonzaga at Vieira, Florida, 7 p.m. tomorrow. Number 6, Lake Braddock beats Lee, 63-18. Number 7, Good Counsel at Mount St. Joe's, 1 p.m. start tomorrow. Bob Malloy goes for his 400th win for the Good Counsel coach. Number 9, St. John's at American Heritage, 2 p.m. start tomorrow. Number 10, Stonebridge, they beat T.C. Williams 38-0. It was number 11, South County over Briar Woods, 27-23. Number 12, Patuxent beat Huntingtown 28-7. Number 13, Tuscarora over Loudoun County 55-21. Number 14, Episcopal was idle tonight. Number 15, Battlefield beat Garfield 30-6. Number 16, Sherwood over Bethesda Chevy Chase 27-10. Number 17, Ole Mill beat Severna Park 49-21. Number 18, Eleanor Roosevelt faces off with Riverdale Baptist tomorrow at a 2 p.m. start. Number 19, Northwest over Gaithersburg tonight, 27-6. And it was number 20, H.D. Woodson beating St. Mary's Riken 32-14. On Thursday, Bishop Ireton fell to Bishop Sullivan of Virginia Beach, 41-6. Eastern over Falls Church, 24-19. Hayfield routs Edison 67-0. Herndon over Fairfax 35-20. Freedom of Woodbridge over Potomac of Virginia 42-7. West Potomac beat Langley 41-12. Mount Vernon over Stewart 30-7. Mountain View over Osborne Park 42-13. W.T. Woodson knocks off Chantilly 17-7. Wilson over Yorktown 41-0. Back to tonight's scores. It was St. John's Catholic Prep over Annapolis Area Christian 16-12. Georgetown Prep beat O'Connell 30-7. Bullis rallied to beat Pilati 22-21. Spalding over St. Mary's of Annapolis 52-0. Dunbar had their game with Southwestern canceled. St. John Paul the Great over Jefferson and Fairfax County 39-0. Landon beat High Point 40-0. It was Liberty of Maryland over Severn School 30-0. Just getting this one in, Maryland School for the Deaf, a 44-6 win over Paul Public Charter. National Collegiate beat Phelps tonight 40-0. Theodore Roosevelt fell to Carrollton of Ohio 49-7. DC area schools, it was Ballou over Bell 39-0. Friendship Collegiate over Carroll 30-6 in that DC Kickoff Classic over at Catholic tonight. In Maryland, Arundel, a winner over Glen Burnie 60-35. Friendly beat Bladensburg 20-14. That one just in. It was Blair over Northwood 35-0. Blake beat Springbrook 45-6. Broadneck over South River 33-12. Centennial knocked off Hammond 30-21. Chopticon over La Plata 41-21. Clarksburg beat Churchill 30-7. Watkins Millblank Frederick 44-0. Howard over Reservoir 28-7. It was Chesapeake over Lansdowne 16-12. Lackey beat Leonardtown 39-0. It was Long Reach over Mount Hebron 33-0. Wheaton over Magruder 21-14. Atherton over Marriott's Ridge 21-10. Annapolis and Meade had their game postponed until Tuesday. North Point over Thomas Stone 41-18. Calvert beat Northern 33-0. Glenelg over Oakland Mills 29-7. Richard Montgomery over Einstein 47-36. Southern beat Rising Sun 46-7. It was River Hill over Wild Lake 17-13. Seneca Valley over Poolsville 42-20. Westlake beat St. Charles 22-0. Rockville over Walter Johnson 41-0. It was Whitman upsetting Paint Branch 27-7. Wooten beat Kennedy 39-14. In Virginia, Centerville over Annandale 42-0. Broad Run beat Wakefield 41-6. Champ over Spring Mills of West Virginia 36-13. Clark County beat Manassas Park 43-6. Heritage over Fauquier 21-12. Forest Park beat Patriot 38-28. Hilton over Osborne 49-7. James Wood beat Parkview 23-6. South Lakes routed Marshall 49-8. Madison over Oakton 33-10. It was Potomac Falls beating Dominion 15-7. Elsewhere, Turner Ashby over Riverside 13-0. Rockridge fell to Loudoun Valley 49-34. Stafford beat Woodbridge 34-25. Brook Point over Stonewall Jackson 46-6. Elsewhere, it was Robinson. They knocked off West Springfield by a score of 49-14. Brentsville beat William Monroe 38-20, and it was Woodgrove over Liberty 41-26. Plenty of games tomorrow. We talked about some of them already, but some really good games. St. John's hosts American Heritage of Florida tomorrow at 2. It's C.H. Flowers and Duval in a big PG County game at 2. Parkdale and Central at 2. That one at Parkdale. Gonzaga at Vieira, Florida tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Good Counsel at Mount St. Joe's, and a 1 o'clock start tomorrow. Gwynn Park and Suitland at 2. Largo at Laurel at 2 tomorrow. North County at Northwestern at 2 tomorrow. Crossland hosts Northeast at 2 tomorrow. Oxon Hill at Potomac of Maryland in a really good game to start things off. That'll be a 2 o'clock start. Fairmont Heights hosts Poly at 2. Randolph-Macon and Potomac School face off tomorrow. Elsewhere, Riverdale Baptist at Eleanor Roosevelt in a really nice matchup in a 2 o'clock start. It'll be Surrattsville at Bluford Drew Jemison at 2. Bowie hosts Westminster at 2. Wise goes to Douglas at 2. And a nice regional matchup as Woodbury Forest of Central Virginia comes up to face off with McNamara. Those two teams played last year. Woodbury Forest got the win. McNamara hosts that one in a 2 p.m. start. That's going to do it for our show today for the final drive. We're glad you could be along with us. So glad to have you along. Again, I'm Jeremy Huber. We come to you on Friday nights during the high school football season. There will be no final drive next week. I'll be on assignment. Be missing you guys. But again, we will go ahead and get you a show coming up after that. Again, we'll be off next week on the final drive. But again, make sure you tune in to DMVStream.com, all the good content there. They'll keep you abreast of what's going on in the DMV. Also, allmetsports.com, way to follow everything going on in the area. Well, that's going to do it for the show tonight. I want to thank our guests, so many good ones, so many victorious coaches coming on the show with us. Lenny Schultz of Madison, thank you to him after their big win over Oakton. Damascus's Eric Wallach after his team beat Quince Orchard. Also, Glen Elg's Butch Schaefer after their win over Oakland Mills. And it was Howard coach Bruce Strunk coming on the show to join us after their big win over Reservoir tonight. So that's going to do it for the final drive. Remember, no show next week. So stay tuned. We'll keep you up to date on when we will be back. I'll be on assignment, if you will. So stay tuned again to stay with us. But thank you so much for listening tonight to the final drive here on DMVStream.com. We'll see you next time.